Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Stotara Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaur Premanande. Sarva Shastra Dipiyusha Sarvavedaika Satphala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnabhya Sarvalokaika Drakprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu Kalidvanto Ditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramananda Bhataya Prema Varshaksharayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostume Madeka Bandho Mad Sangin Mad Guru Man Mahadana Manishtaraka Madbhagya Madananda Namostute Asādhu sādhu tādāyin atinicho chatakara hanamuncha kadachin mam premna hrit kantayos pura. Om namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, The Process of Creation, Text 1. Sūta uvāca vaiyāsaker iti vacas tattva-niścayam ātmanaḥ upadhārya matim kṛṣṇe auttareyaḥ satīm vyadhāt. Sūta uvāca vaiyāsaker iti vacas tattva-niścayam ātmanaḥ upadhārya matim kṛṣṇe auttareyaḥ satīm vyadhāt. Please chant. Ladies. Sūta uvāca vaiyāsaker iti vacas tattva-niścayam ātmanaḥ upadhārya matim kṛṣṇe auttareyaḥ satīm. Sūta uvāca. Sūta Gosvāmī said, vaiyāsakeḥ of Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Iti, thus, vacaḥ, speeches, tattva-niścayam, that which verifies the truth, ātmanaḥ, in the self, upadhārya, just having realized, matim, concentration of the mind, kṛṣṇe, unto Lord Kṛṣṇa, auttareyaḥ, the son of Uttarā, satīm, chaste, vyadhāt, applied. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Sūta Gosvāmī said, Mahārāja Parīkṣit, the son of Uttarā, after hearing the speeches of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, which were all about the truth of the self, applied his concentration faithfully upon Lord Kṛṣṇa. Purport. The word satīm is very significant. This means existing and chaste, and both imports are perfectly applicable in the case of Mahārāja Parīkṣit. The whole Vedic adventure is to draw one's, literature, is to draw one's attention entirely onto the lotus feet of Lord Kṛṣṇa without any diversion, as instructed in the Bhagavad-gītā 15:15. Fortunately, Mahārāja Parīkṣit had already been attracted to the Lord from the very beginning of his body in the womb of his mother. In the womb of his mother, he was struck by the Brahmastra, atomic bomb released by Ashwatthama. But by the grace of the Lord, he was saved from being burned by the fiery weapon. And since then, the king continuously concentrated his mind upon Lord Kṛṣṇa, which made him perfectly chaste in devotional service. So by natural sequence, he was a chaste devotee of the Lord, and when he further heard from Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī that one should worship the Lord only and no one else, even though full of desires or desireless, his natural affection for Kṛṣṇa was strengthened. We have already discussed these topics. To become a pure devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa, two things are very much essential, namely having a chance to be born in the family of a devotee and having the blessings of a bona fide spiritual master. By the grace of Lord Kṛṣṇa, Parīkṣit Maharaj had both opportunities. He was born in a family of such devotees as the Pandavas, and just to continue the dynasty of the Pandavas and show them special favor, the Lord specifically saved Mahārāja Parīkṣit, who later on, by the arrangement of the Lord, was cursed by the boy of a Brahmana and was able to get the association of such a spiritual master as Śukadeva Gosvāmī. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that a fortunate person, by the mercy of the spiritual master and Lord Kṛṣṇa, achieves the path of devotional service. This was perfectly applicable in the case of Mahārāja Parīkṣit. By way of being born in a family of devotees, he automatically came in touch with Kṛṣṇa, and after being so contacted, he constantly remembered him. Consequently, Lord Kṛṣṇa gave the king a further chance for development in devotional service by introducing him to Śukadeva Gosvāmī, a stalwart devotee of the Lord with perfect knowledge and self-realization. And by hearing from a bona fide spiritual master, he was perfectly able to concentrate his chaste mind further upon Lord Kṛṣṇa as a matter of course. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vikasa Swamiti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. The verse again. Sūta Gosvāmī said, Mahārāja Parīkṣit, the son of Uttarā, after hearing the speeches of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, which were all about the truth of the self, applied his concentration faithfully upon Lord Kṛṣṇa. So we are starting a new chapter and also a new section in the Bhagavatam. The first 3 chapters, they are one section, Śukadeva Gosvāmī speaking to Parīkṣit Mahārāja. And now, at this point, Sūta is speaking because the last portion of the 3rd chapter is actually, it was spoken by the, just the sages of Naimisharanya, Shaunaka Rishi, yes. So, Shaunaka Rishi wanted to know, so Śukadeva Gosvāmī said this, what did they speak more? And he showed his great enthusiasm and he about what he heard. He was completely enlivened, was praising the conversation, Krishna Katha, and the wonderful effects of Krishna Katha, and wanted to know more. What did they speak more? Tell me more. That's the natural result of hearing Krishna Katha. That you don't say, okay, now it's enough. No, time to turn on the, I don't know, Netflix or something. But you want to hear more. So Sūta Gosvāmī speaks further what he heard from Śukadeva and Parīkṣit. So this is it's a change of topic, but he said that now Parīkṣit was thinking about what he had heard, and as a result of that, he concentrated his mind on Lord Kṛṣṇa. And as this chapter is entitled "The Process of Creation." Now, how he concentrated the mind on Kṛṣṇa. Now, why? Like if we just read the summary of the 4th chapter, for instance, by Śrīla Śukadeva, he says that Turye Parīkṣita prishtam srishtyādi haricheshtitam shukena brahmatat putra samvadeno pavarnyate. In the 4th chapter, Parīkṣit asked about the activities of Lord Hari like creation. Śukadeva described the conversation between Lord Brahma and his son, Narada. So it's about creation and so on. Srishtyādis, creation, Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. All about this he asked. So Vishwanath also, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, also summarized the 4th chapter with a few more details that Śukadeva speaks of the pastimes of creation and so on by narrating the conversation between Brahma and Narada, and before that Śukadeva offers obeisances to his guru and Lord Hari. So who's the guru of Śukadeva Gosvāmī? Of course, Vyasadeva. That's in the text 24, but before is from 12 to 23 also. Now Śukadeva will offer the obeisances to Lord Hari. And that is also an expression of his ecstasy. He cannot just, and there's so many very well-known verses here, among which it's, this is like Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Bhira Shumba Yavana Kasadayaha Yanyacha Papa Yadapashraya Shraya Shudhyanti Tasmai Prabha Vishnave Namaha. So he's saying that even the members of what do you say, nations or communities which are unexpected to become devotees, they become devotees just by taking shelter of devotees of Lord Kṛṣṇa, due to his being the supreme power. So he's just the speakers of the Bhagavatam. They're expressing their ecstasy, and yes, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, as you'll see, that Parīkṣit's mind was being concentrated on Kṛṣṇa, and he uses for Parīkṣit, the word is used, the name is used auttareyaḥ, because he's the son of Uttarā. So, and because Kṛṣṇa entered Uttara's womb, and that's why Parīkṣit was always remembering him. And you see that Prabhupada speaks about that in the Purport in like a little more detail. Obviously taking the lead from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Without him saying that, he just does it and elaborates on that. So, and also, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that that Parīkṣit's mind was being concentrated on Kṛṣṇa, and for that he uses the word satīm, which means that is existing, like Prabhupada is saying, and that is also the alternative meaning for the satīm being just meaning existing is being avyabhichari, faithful, steady, not going away. So again, this Prabhupada is mentioning immediately, this means existing and chaste, and both imports are perfectly applicable in the case of Mahārāja Parīkṣit. So in Srila Prabhupada's purport, we are getting purpose of the acharyas and his own realizations and ecstasies. And Śrīla Swami said that because the word is used satīm, that signifies that only Kṛṣṇa is to be served, no one else. That's why Parīkṣit Maharaj concentrated on Kṛṣṇa, no one else. So this is exclusive concentration. That's why it's also faithful. It's just Kṛṣṇa, no one else. And also, the natural question which I was hinting at is why now the change of topic? Not exactly now, but it will in the 5th verse, 6th verse, Parīkṣit will ask about the creation of material world. And Srila Prabhupada says it's very natural to want to know about this. This is very important, and how all this came about. He wanted to know about all the activities, all of the activities of the Lord, not just his intimate activities, but everything. So, and he already knew that Krishna is the origin of everything. He is janmadhyasya, yataha. And Prabhupada says, first one has to know how is material energy working under the direction of the Supreme Lord. And then one may try to enter into the activities of his internal energy. So first, let's know what are the workings of the external energy, and then the internal energy. That's just a summary of what he says in the purport to chapter 6. Like Jiva Gosvami, interestingly, he says that how Parīkṣit Maharaj was thinking, if I now hear about the activities of Lord Kṛṣṇa, I will experience pain in the separation from him. So better I ask about Krishna's powers, about his Aishwarya, so that I become composed, calm, composed, not bursting into ecstasy immediately. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that you have described what I should hear and chant at the point of death. So the subject of hearing is Krishna's qualities, forms, and pastimes. So first I'll ask about the pastimes of creation, of his Maya Shakti, creation by his Maya Shakti, and then I'll ask about his pastimes such as lifting Govardhan hill using his Chit Shakti. You see the reflection of how Prabhupada speaks about that as well. A little differently, just using different words, but that's the essence. So this is just to orient us and what's coming up, and there's also, so and Jiva Gosvami on the commenting on this verse says that that Parīkṣit Maharaj, he was reflecting upon what he heard, the verses he heard. He mentioned the verses like akama sarvakamava, and then he understood the conclusion and concentrated particularly on Krishna. So I just thought, because now the conclusion of these 3 chapters, which we read so far, already read, is to concentrate the mind on Krishna in the verses like akama sarvakama va moksha kama udaradihi. So what are other verses also in this whole section that prod us to hear about Krishna, to concentrate the mind on Krishna? So to look at a short overview. It will not be long, as we don't have much time. So but Śukadeva Gosvāmī immediately congratulates the Parīkṣit Maharaj on his question about, what should a person who is about to die, what he should do and what he should not do. And just the question itself is the good thing, good matter to hear. So Śukadeva Gosvāmī immediately tells him what not to do. One should not waste time. One should not. There's so many other things to hear, and it condemns material life. That's an important thing to do, because we may speak about what to do, and if we leave out the things what not to do, that's unclear. it's just like a gray area, we didn't hear. So that might confuse people. That's why we speak about what to do, what not to do, and Śukadeva Gosvāmī used that method. And says what to do. It's that one should hear. Is it 215? Just the way that my mind had tasma. Therefore, of course, material life is just produces no auspicious results. It's just deha patya kalatradishu atmasanyeshu satsvapitesham pramato nidanam parsyanapina parshati. Materialistic people do not see that everything is just going, is being destroyed in front of their eyes. All of the things which they are attached to and they live for, and just cannot see because they're attached. So therefore, because this is useless, tasmat bharata sarvatma bhagavan ishvaro harihi ishrotavya kirtitavya cha smartavya shchechatavayam. So if you want to be free from all miseries, free from fear, so therefore hear about, chant about, and remember Lord Kṛṣṇa. And that sets the tone. It just goes on and on. And he elaborates more on this. He says that prayena manasa rajan nivrita vidishedataha nargunya staramantesma gunanu katane harihe. That mainly, the topmost transcendentalists who are above the regulative principles and restrictions take pleasure in describing the glories of the Lord. And, Gunanu katane harihe, speaking about the qualities of the Lord. And then, Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī, as a good preacher, speaks about his experience with the subject matter. Says, and this Bhagavatam, idam Bhagavatam nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam, aditavam dvaparado pitur dvaipayanat aham. So I studied this Bhagavatam, which I'm speaking to you, and although parinishthito pinargunya, although I was situated in transcendence, I was not attracted by anything material. Uttama shloka lilaya, because of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, who is described by the choices of verses, my mind was attracted, grihita cheta. So I was studying this, so it did very, my mind was attracted, just like the Munis, Prayena Munaya Rajan. So Narad Muni speaks similarly of his experiences. That's in the first chapter, how he became attracted to the Lord. This did good to me. It will do good to you also. This is a general. Yes, we hear from the scriptures so how this is good for everyone, and now I experienced that. This is my experience as well. So take it. You take it to your heart also. Take the book, read it, apply it in your life. Associate with us also. And so I'm giving the same to you. Tadaham te abhidasyami, the same. You are Mahāpaurushako Bhavan, Yasya Shradadata Amashu Syan Mukunde Matisyati. So by applying your mind applying your mind with full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, the one who does that, he achieves unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord, the giver of salvation. So hinting to his Mukunda, his giver of salvation. So you're going to die, that's sure already in 7 days, but you'll be saved. This is not anything inauspicious. And then the Śukadeva Gosvāmī glorifies the holy name, etat nirvidyamana namichatam akuto bhayam yoginam nripanirnitam harir namanukirtanam, that the constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. So, this is for everyone, chanting, constant chanting of the holy name after the ways of the great authorities. So what does this boils down to for us is that we chant the way we were taught by the acharyas. And it's the doubtless way, fearless way of success for all. How is that? In the purport, in the commentaries, the acharyas explain, yes, this is definitely so. The holy name is the chanting is the best process. And we know that from many, many sources in the Shastras. But there's just one, like, to not achieve success, and there's a most probably just one problem, is the offenses to the holy name. So, and it's elaborated upon the 10 offenses. What are the 10 offenses and how to avoid them? One thing that captured my mind is of course, satīm. We speak often that offenses to the Vaishnavas, it's the gravest offense. And when among the arguments of the Jiva Gosvāmī, like why not to commit a Vaishnava parāda, he quotes these verses, Nindam kurvanti ye mudha Vaishnavanam mahatmanam patanti pitrivi sardam Mahārāja Samgite Hanti nindanti vaidveshti Vaishnavam nabhinandati krudyati yatti no harsham darshane patanani shat. Fools who criticize great Vaishnavas fall to the hell known as Mahārāja with their ancestors. There are 6 ways of falling: killing or harming Vaishnavas, criticizing them, hating them, not welcoming them, being angry with them, and not showing joy on seeing them. So, some of the ways how to fall from the position of transcendence is, they're quite obvious: killing or harming Vaishnavas. That's quite clear, but also happens sometimes. It does happen, and it has bad effects, very bad. Criticizing them. Now, even hating them, this is also very severe. But you may say, if you just say give blank statement, do not criticize a Vaishnava. So that makes one who, takes on the dress of a Vaishnava, chants, puts on tilaka. Whatever he does, you don't criticize, right? Because he's a Vaishnava, and if you criticize, you commit Vaishnava parada, so, it's a kind of, can touch. It has immunity. Well, the injunction is obvious, it's very clear, do not criticize Vaishnavas. And that, but the saying of Jesus Christ, hate the sin, not the sinner, make this question or the difficulty clearer. If there's something to criticize or to make it clear, in terms of Siddhanta, Vaishnava Siddhanta of following Śrīla Prabhupada, this, that, you do not hate Vaishnava, but you point out what's wrong. It's not because Vaishnavas remain Vaishnavas. There may be, we may see there may be, and there may be division among so many points of Siddhanta, but to disrespect a Vaishnava is still is detrimental. It's a Vaishnava parada. Because who is a Vaishnava? Vaishnava is one, there's different definitions of Vaishnava, but the most liberal one is the one who once chants the holy name. Mahaprabhu said it. And for instance, Sūta Gosvāmī says that Kṛṣṇeti yasya giritam manasadriyeta, on whose tongue there is Kṛṣṇa, holy name of Kṛṣṇa, you should mentally honor, you should give respect. You may not bow down if for different reasons, but you should respect. So these are Vaishnavas, they're chanting holy names, they're trying in their best to follow, to worship Kṛṣṇa. So in this way, we don't lose our well-wishing attitude towards the Vaishnavas and the world in general, because Prahlād Maharaj says that, and we hear that a lot also, I mean it's quoted a lot, yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvair gunair tatra samasate suraha. All the good qualities and the demigods are residing within one who is a devotee, who has bhakti, who is that, as a devotee. So all good qualities. And Vaishnavas are distinct from others by their good qualities. Of course, we may hear, or it's an issue that, it's a hospital, and some may not be in good shape, but still, not everybody has to just show we have to go on in spiritual life. We should develop some good qualities. Otherwise, what we are doing? And that is being addressed in the verse 24, which was discussed to some extent yesterday. Certainly that heart is still framed, which in spite of one's chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration does not change when ecstasy takes place. Tears fill the eyes and the hair stand on end. So the heart doesn't change, even though we chant the holy name. And again, what is the what is the, how to say, diagnosis of the Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas. If the reaction does not take place, even after continuous hearing and chanting of the holy name of the Lord, it may be considered to be due to offenses only. This is the opinion of the Sandarbha, Jiva Gosvāmī. So one has to be very careful about these offenses. And this is not light. This is very, our spiritual life depends on that. It doesn't mean that we have to agree with everyone, but have respect for Vaishnavas. This is very important. And this well-meaning attitude towards everyone. You may not agree with one, but be well-meaning. This is something which we can do ourselves with introspection and because as Vaishnavas, we don't want to hate anyone. We don't want any bad feelings towards anyone. So such feelings, they will stop our progress in devotional life. You see, not welcoming them. If you don't welcome Vaishnavas, and you do not show joy upon seeing them. This is, we omit that many times. We are so busy, we just go here and there, but we are happy to see the Vaishnavas. There's so many materialists in this world. You may be happy on seeing them, another jiva with Paramatma in the heart. But generally, materialists cause us pain. Their association is bad. We should give association, not take association. So if we are not strong, we avoid associating with non-devotees. But with devotees, no, we are happy to see a devotee. Very happy. He's a person who dedicated his life to Kṛṣṇa. He wants to achieve Kṛṣṇa, or he may even already attained. Yeah, we're so happy to see devotees. So, very important. Offenses should be given up. Then the full effect of chanting the holy name, the whole process of devotional service will unfold. So this we came up to 11th verse of the first canto, trying to summarize them, but I'd like to mention also that today is the disappearance day of Ramchandra Kaviraj. We may not know so much about him generally, but every day we sing about him. Narottam Das Thakur sings about him. Ramachandra Sangamage Narottam Das. Narottam, so the prime characteristic of Ramachandra Kaviraj is that he was friends with Narottam Das. Narottam Das, such a great Vaishnava, Acharya, he was friends with Ramachandra Kaviraj. So that in itself should mean a lot. So this is another great Vaishnava. Obviously, Ramachandra Kaviraj passed away earlier than Narottam Das Thakur, therefore he was lamenting. So I would like to have his association. So in the absence, he was feeling very despondent. So Ramachandra Kaviraj was a disciple of Srinivasacharya, and he was the son of Chiranjiva Sen. They were Chiranjiv Sen, Mukunda Narahari Raghunandan, the Thakur, they were residents of Sri Khanda. That's a place, we hear that I mentioned a little bit that Mahaprabhu told to the residents of Sri Khanda who asked who is a Vaishnava, because he instructed them to associate the Vaishnavas. So, who is a Vaishnava, who to associate with. And they asked this like 3 times. It's recorded in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and every time Mahaprabhu gave a different answer, or actually he was increasing the criteria. Who is a Vaishnava? First, one who chants the holy name, then one who is chanting the holy names incessantly, and then the third time one who by seeing him others chant Hare Krishna. So Mahabhagavat. So Ramachandra, he was Kaviraj. This was a title that was given to him, but he was a doctor by profession. It's called Kaviraj. So he was Kaviraj by being a doctor and also by being a poet. So one pastime is very well known that some smartas became very envious of Narottam Das Thakur because he was so great acharya giving diksha. He was a kayasta, he was not a Brahmin, but he was giving diksha to Brahmanas as well. So some smartas thought that this is really wrong and they should expose this cheating. And they enlisted Raja Narasimha, so King Narasimha, and Pandit Shri Rup Narayan, so to go to Keturi and expose him, not Keturi, Jajigram, and expose him actually to Keturi. So Ramachandra, Kaviraj, and Sri Ganganarayan Chakravarti came to know about this. They will go and they'll try to debate and this and that. So they thought of a device. So they came to one village before Keturi, Kumarapur, and they set up small shops. Betel nut shop and one for selling clay pots. So in Ramachandra Kaviraj was a vendor in one shop and Rupnarayan in another one. So when this party came to this village to shop for clay pots, so they wanted to settle there to cook, and the shopkeeper started to speak with them in Sanskrit, which was surprising. But Ramachandra Kaviraj was a big pandit. He learned shastras from his guru, Srivas Acharya himself. So, and not only that, they didn't just speak, this is 20, this is 30. They started speaking philosophy, and they were raising philosophical questions. And these members of the party, they couldn't defeat them, the shopkeepers. So they called up for Raja Narasimha and Rupnarayan to come and help, okay. Rupnarayan will solve, but no, he couldn't. And they were defeated. So they decided, and they asked him, but then the king asked, so who are you? So we are just humble disciples of Narottam Das Thakur. And they thought, if disciples are so sound in philosophy, so what to speak of Narottam Das Thakur? What's the hope of defeating him? So they just left. So the whole plot just crumbled. And but there's more. When this Raja Narasimha slept at night, the a dream came. Actually, Durga Devi came to his mind. He said, "You have committed a great offense at the feet of Narottam Das Thakur. As a result of this Vaishnava Parada, I will have to cut you to pieces with this chopper. Sorry, you're worshipping me, and you thought that, I should expose this Kṛṣṇite, this cheater, Narottam Das Thakur, but no, for all that you with all that you have tried to do for me, I'll now cut you to pieces. But of course, if you want to save yourself, then you had better immediately go and take shelter at Narottam Das Thakur's lotus feet." And similar dream came to the Pandit Rupnarayan. So they went together to Keturi, and they apologized, and they were initiated by him. So this is how you accept defeat. So you actually take shelter of the one who defeated you. So that was the great potency of Narottam Das Thakur and Ramachandra Kaviraj. He was also a great guru. He had many disciples, and he's a big preacher. And also, it's this is a disappearance day of Ramachandra Kaviraj. It's said that when he went to Vraja for the second time, and he found there was no Goswamis there anymore, and he was so devastated that he left his body out of separation. So this is a great devotee, Ramachandra Kaviraj ki jai. And of course, Gopal Bhatta Das Gosvāmī, this is his appearance day. He's much better known, but we won't discuss much about him, as it's 9 o'clock and it's time to wind up. So, Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment? Yes, ma'am.
That regarding offense, when we see a Vaishnava, we should be happy. Sometimes it happens that someone might have hurt you, and even though I want to be happy, what happened comes into your mind, and you cannot be joyful just looking at the devotee. So, is that still an offense? And if it is an offense, then how to deal with such situations?
Well, the thing is, I'll just be short, we don't have much time, but it's a philosophical thing. So yeah, sometimes it's difficult. Of course it's recognized but we should not grudge the hate, or we should not keep it. We should try to let it go. Seeing, this is a devotee of the Lord. He may have acted in a certain way towards me, but this may be just my karma. He's merciful to me. It's a philosophical point, and it may not work, but at least we have to try. It may not work immediately, but with the passing of time, we should let go of the grudges. This is not good. It's not good for us. It will kill us. It is killing us. It's taking our devotion, the joy of devotion, away. So we should be, for ourselves, not much taking offenses. We should just be careful not to make offenses, but for others, all right. It's my karma. Maybe I have deserved it, like that. This is the attitude of a devotee. There's one short question.
We often hear you shouldn't criticize a Vaishnava. Sort of kind of like the first offense to the holy name.
Sutam Ninda.
Very rudimentary understanding.
Right.
On social media, it's I had to get off of Facebook because it was just jam-packed full of devotees criticizing one another.
Yeah.
But they don't think that there's any offense being made because they're speaking up for justice, and you know, how can you let something go on and not say anything? And that deviation has to be
exposed.
Right. Like
stopped.
That. So they, by exposing something that's bad, is that criticism acceptable to Krishna? Does it bear the same result as what we call a blasphemy of Vaishnava?
There's a fine line between these two. I spoke a little bit about it, maybe not so super clear, but this is an issue which it's boggling the mind. How to do everything right, not to agree with the deviations, and at the same time not to criticize. So I spoke a little bit about this, and it's a very fine line. So what's the first thing we do when we get up? We think how we will chant Hare Krishna, how not to commit offense, or there's something, what about this, what's on the Facebook, who replied to my comment on Facebook, if we are getting into that, we should get off the Facebook because it's not doing good. And I'm not, everybody has to see for themselves, but generally, yes, Facebook's full of apparatus. It's full of them because it gives you the platform to everybody speaks. But if we meet as like in person, like we are speaking now, I see you, see me, you see my intentions, you see how that's completely different. So this is the way how to resolve the difference, like different views on Siddhanta and who's right, who's not right. Then you may see, oh, but these are really, these are devotees. Okay, they see it like this, but you maintain respect. That is the perceived fault in others. If that brings us to that is correct, connected to that now we disrespect that person, we are offensive. Now that's wrong. So we should be able to discipline ourselves. Yeah, if not, just cut from all these kind of discussions. Chant Hare Krishna and then you do what's right, and maybe not discuss who's right, who's not. All right, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.